Hello, and welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusty co-host Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello. And today we're going to, what did we do last time? I don't remember. Oh, we did Bodies.
Yes.
Very, very, very funny, very hilarious movie. Today we're doing something still kind of funny, but
a bit more serious.
Serious, yeah.
And dark in another way, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Dark in a very different way.
Yeah.
We're talking about the quite well received indie movie On the Count of Three. Yes. Directed by and starring Gerard Carmichael and what was the other guy's name?
Christopher Abbott.
Christopher Abbott, right? I was vaguely familiar with him. Yeah. Oh, and a few others. Yeah. J.B. Smooth, among others. Which we'll get to that scene. Yeah, it's a movie about two friends. One who is having sort of a, I guess, maybe not midlife crisis, but quarter-life crisis. He's in their early 30s, maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
And the other one who has been struggling with mental health issues his entire life, and they decide to, together, one day, commit suicide.
Yeah.
But before that, they gotta do some stuff, you know. They gotta finish up some affairs. And that's basically what the movie is all about.
One of them is literally recovering from a failed suicide attempt, so... Yeah,
exactly, yeah. And we get to follow them on this day, this one day before they pull the trigger, basically.
The last day.
Yeah.
Well, this movie came out in 2021, technically, right?
Yeah, it was probably... festivals and stuff,
yeah.
But I mean, I think its official releases this year.
So, are we keeping the spoilers in the second half? I didn't really decide on that.
No, yeah, I think so. If there's anything we need to like specifically discuss,
the ending.
Keep that in the second part. Yeah, the ending, I suppose. Yeah, but we'll keep that in the second part.
Yes.
So first half spoiler free, and then we're going to tell you when we're going to start spoiling stuff.
Yeah.
Going to details and stuff. But also, don't forget to check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene, where we are going to discuss another fun movie about assisted suicide. As a companion piece of this, we're going to talk about the 2019 movie Paddleton,
yes.
Starring Ray Romano and Mark Duplass.
Yes.
Which is going to be, I think,
an
interesting to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for now, in this free episode, we're talking about On the Count of Three.
Yes. So,
before I suggested this, had you heard of it?
Not one bit. Not a word.
I saw the trailer a while ago and I was like, that looks interesting. I should watch that. And to make sure that I actually watch it, I was like, we should do an episode on it. So I have to watch it instead of just, I should watch it and never do it.
So you hadn't really watched it, like, at all before you suggested it?
No, I watched it for the first time today.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of it?
It's a new movie. I couldn't have seen it before.
No, that's true. So what did you think of it?
I thought it was very good.
Agree.
Yeah. It's a very, very dark comedy, I would say.
Oh, yes.
It is comedic.
Sure.
But it deals with some very dark subject matters, which I like. I like that kind of movie. But I gotta say, it didn't move me as much as I thought it would.
No, not really. Well, by the end it did, but the journey up until is like, yeah, this is like a more or less normal comedy with, just a darker subject.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Because you have the dynamic between them is very... It's a good friendship when it's, it's comedic almost.
Yeah.
They complement each other very well because they're not the same.
Very well. No. But there's definite chemistry between the actors and the characters, of course.
Yes.
Who both, by the way, terrific performances.
Oh, yeah.
This is very much a character-driven movie.
And they do it fantastically.
Yes. But I don't know. Maybe I somehow hyped it up in my head because it deals with a very serious subject matter. And it was my suggestion then to talk about Paddleton, which I hadn't seen before.
So you compare them
when it came out. Yeah, and spoilers for that discussion. I think that is one that really, especially the second time watching it, really, really moved me.
Well, yes, they're both, in my opinion, they're both equally great in different ways.
Sure.
Because, yeah, again, spoiler for Paddleton discussion, that made me cry.
Yes.
On the Count of Three did not make me cry. However,
no. There was
the
a couple of
ending
moments
just felt so right. And there were moments where you're like, holy shit, this is real, and holy shit, this is happening, and oh my god. But by the end, specifically, it's just like, yeah, this is perfect. This is the ending. That's, if they had done it any other way, I would have been so mad.
What, you're talking about On the Count of Three?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Paddleton too, but specifically On the Count of Three now.
Oh my god, that ending. Yeah. No, I thought the ending was a bit, it kind of spiraled out of control a little bit. It almost went too far.
I meant the final, like the actual last.
Well, sure,
bits.
yeah, the actual, sure, yeah, that was a good one.
Sure, it's a bit
in a less than perfect setting, but still, it's a good ending.
Yes. It went a bit too far at points leading up to that perfect ending, but it's kind of made sense, to be honest.
Without saying too much, I mean, yeah, everything was perfectly set up.
Yeah,
but without saying too much, it's a movie about people walking around, talking to people, and driving in cars. But then it ends in a police chase on dirt bikes and helicopters. The showdown in the quarry. It was like, what is happening here? It works, but it's just like, you didn't really need all this.
No, they could have, but I mean, it's a short movie, which is the first perk. It's an hour 30-ish.
Yeah. Almost like exactly hour 30. I think.
Yeah, I think so. And they kind of needed something to happen to ramp it up and to kind of put pressure on the ending, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because if it would have been just them, I don't know, it wouldn't have had the same impact.
No, I know
the
what
emotional
you mean.
impact.
We'll talk more about we'll talk more about that.
But
when we
the
talk
movie
spoilers,
overall,
yes,
I think it was more or less perfectly written, at least. I didn't have any real issues with it. I mean, it's a classic kind of thing where everyone has their issues, and someone has family issues, someone has other issues with, like, in this case, going back to school. He had issues with people in school and stuff like that.
Yeah. It also, I think it dealt with the issue of like suicidal thoughts.
Yes.
In a mature way.
Yeah.
Because once again, without saying too much, one of them, like, you can understand why he wants to kill himself.
Yeah.
Like, he has struggled his entire life. He's struggled for like 30 years. That's why he tried to commit suicide before. And this is not really a spoiler. They tell you this in like the first
5 minutes
of the movie. Yeah. While the other guy is just like, he's had like a breaking point in his life.
Yes.
But honestly, he seems to have a pretty okay life. I mean, he had issues earlier, but I mean, at where it is right now, it just seems like he's not ready to move on, really. So he,
I think he's scared that he's stuck, that he won't be able to move on. And when he tries, he's like, he's scared of it at the same time.
Yeah, he's afraid of change, but also feels like he's stuck.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22,
Yes. And it's a kind of a normal feeling. Everyone has that every now and then.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like, you feel like you've been doing this job for so long, they even, like, it's a shitty job, but they promote you, and you're like, but I don't want the promotion, do I? Like, do I really want to be stuck longer at this place?
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I shouldn't compare too much to Paddleton, but
it's impossible.
Yeah, and I watched them back to back, so
me too.
Yeah, like the characters in Paddleton are in their like mid to late 40s, maybe even older.
Yes.
While the characters, like we said, in On the Count of Three are like early to mid 30s.
Yes.
They're just really becoming adults.
They're finally like, this is where you start living your adult life.
Yeah. And I gotta say that the characters in Paddleton deal with it in a much more adult way.
Well, yeah, they're more adult, so.
Yeah, but it's an interesting contrast.
Sure, yeah.
To watch them back to back, which I recommend if you haven't seen these movies.
Watch both of them.
Yeah, this episode's all over the place. Yeah. 10 minutes in, but yeah, you should watch both of the movies. And do it back to back. It was interesting.
Yeah,
you watched it back to back as well.
Yes, today.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like you said, the Paddleton characters, they're older, they're more mature. I think that the thing about On the Count of Three is because they're not because of their age. It's more like what they've been through makes them more younger at heart as well. They never really got to that stage of growing up because of what happened to them.
No, yeah.
They kind of got, not stunted, but like, in their hearts, they didn't really move on, so they're still stuck at that place like they were when they were kids. Which is also why, by now, they're like, shit, everything's going down, let's just fucking end it. Yeah.
And I found that very interesting, that our like main character, because for me it feels like, what's his name? Valentine?
Val. He's just Val.
Val. Yeah, he feels like the main character more than the other one. He is the main character. Yeah, they both have basically equal screen time, but it feels like it's his story really.
Yes,
and his
mainly
what's
Kevin.
Christopher Abbott's Kevin is he's a second lead, so to speak.
I think it's mainly because Val's character has more of a development, while Kevin's is very one track.
Yes.
There's lots going on with Kevin, and we find out at least as many details about his past and stuff, or if not more. But there's still this finality to his character. We know more or less what's going to happen from the beginning.
Yeah, you kind of do. So I found that dynamic in the story very interesting. That they come at the same solution to very like different situations or different problems.
Yes.
And also then come to different conclusions.
Eventually, yeah.
Which is interesting because in the beginning it's almost the other way around.
Yeah,
because. Once again, the first 10 minutes is when they're gonna kill themselves, and they're like, and then it's Kevin who's like, oh wait, I need like one more day.
I need to fix something.
And Val is like, really? Because you tried to kill yourself 3 days ago. You had 3 last days. Can we like move on? But towards the end, spoilers, it's kind of the other way around.
Yes, but as I said, that's kind of hinted at in the beginning because we know from the first minute that Kevin is the one who actually attempted it before.
Yeah.
While Val is just kind of spur of the moment depressed, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a very impulsive decision.
Yes.
To kill yourself. It should never
on his
be.
part.
Yeah. But I found that very interesting.
Yes.
How the two characters dealt with their situations.
I'm trying so hard to talk about it without spoiling things.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Should we just move into spoilers maybe then?
I think so. I mean, like, we can do the general thing. Like, yeah, it's the camera work was good. I didn't really think of the music except for that one song, obviously.
What?
Chop Suey.
Yeah, it's in the.
No, not Chop Suey. No, sorry. No. I was thinking about something else. What's
Papa
it called?
Roach.
Yeah, Papa Roach. Sorry, yeah.
But I don't know what the song is called. It's Cut My Life into Pieces. I don't know what it's called.
No, me neither. That's why my mind went to Chop Suey for some reason. I have to check it out.
That's System of a Down.
Yeah.
which, it's in the trailer, so there's no spoiler that they play that song.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
They do use it, because you see it in the trailer,
it's Last
but then
Resort,
they use it
obviously.
again. Last Resort. This is my last resort.
Yeah.
Like they say in the trailer, you cannot play this song on the day you're going to kill yourself.
You can't play songs about suicide when you're thinking of killing yourself. It's like playing sad songs when you're going through a breakup. Which I find kind of, like, you do, though.
Yeah, you do, because it's like, it's a way to, like, externalize your feelings.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Release them a little bit. Like, you can cry while singing, I don't know.
Like he says, Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, I would say, like, actually the music, the written music for the movie was very good.
Yeah, sure.
There's not a lot of it, but there's little like jazz pieces here and there, and then there's this weird, almost like ethereal, like a string piece at the end playing over the final shot.
Yeah.
Which I really liked, and I was like, whoa! I actually noticed the music, even though it's very, very little original music.
I think there's
a bunch of songs.
Mainly noticed that one, the end. I think the rest of the movie, I didn't really think of the music, except for obviously the very loud one.
Yeah, they point out that Kevin has terrible taste in music, that's not fair.
That's not fair. I like that kind of music.
He likes metal.
Yeah.
They play a Metallica song at one point. I don't know which one it is though.
Yeah, either way.
Fuck it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in general, it's a very good movie.
Oh yeah,
and I can see why it got great reviews. All right, we started talking about the music. It was on other technical levels.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nothing special because it's
nothing
an indie
spectacular.
Movie. It's about the characters and the performances. So,
and like you said, it takes place mostly them driving or walking and talking kind of thing.
Yeah. But then you have the end where they have a lot of like sweeping helicopter shots and stuff, which is
that's where they threw the big money.
Yeah, they spent all the money on that, and that's why that's shot in Canada for tax purposes. No, I'm not sure, but it was shot in New York. I mean Syracuse, New York, outside of the city, and then in Ottawa, Canada. So I'm guessing all the big stuff was shot in Ottawa because it's cheaper to shoot in Canada.
Yeah, probably.
No, it is. It's a tax thing.
Yeah,
movies shoot in Canada.
Yes.
Did you know? Funny anecdote or whatever. Fun fact: when James Cameron was going to shoot the Terminator in 1984, he wanted to shoot it in Canada, in Toronto, I think, but it was actually cheaper to shoot it in Los Angeles. My, how the tables have turned.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that has nothing to do with anything. I just thought it because we're talking about tax stuff in Canada and America. Anyway, shall we move on to spoilers? Because we almost talked for 20 minutes now anyway. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to say. Like you said, there's not a lot to say about a movie when you can't really talk about the details in this case, because a lot of it is in the details in this case. Yeah.
So, final statement. Very good movie. Kind of a heavy subject matter, so if you don't like that, maybe stay away from it.
Yes.
But honestly, it's a very, very good movie. Very good performances. Just check it out.
Check it out. Now, spoilers. Spoilers.
From here on out, spoilers. Anything in particular you want to spoil?
Not like that, like I usually do. Just like the whole thing in general is just the details, how they change their characters completely. Because Kevin starts off being this, I mean, sure, he's suicidal and he has problems in school and stuff, which we don't know most of it until like midway through, I think.
Yeah, but we do know, obviously, because he's in a mental institution.
Yes, we know that he has the suicidal thoughts, but we don't really know why, I suppose.
And he talks about like how doctors have tried to fix him for 30 years and just hasn't worked.
But we don't know the trauma that happened, so to speak.
And he asks a question which I almost wish they had put more emphasis on. It's like, why do you want to keep people alive? And I pondered that from time to time because we go to the ends of the earth to keep people alive, even when they're like even when they're old, like there's a 90-year-old person who's like in constant pain and they need assistance to breathe and stuff like that. But we won't let them die.
No, that question is probably answered better in Paddington. Paddleton.
Paddleton. It's not answered in Paddington.
Paddleton.
Yeah. I wish they talked a bit more about that aspect. The fact that suicide should really be the very, very last exit.
Yes.
But it should be one that is more like accepted.
Yes. It's the whole selfish thing.
Yeah.
It's selfish on both parts. It's selfish of the person who's killing themselves, but it's also selfish of the people who don't want them to kill themselves.
Yes.
Everything leads down to you being selfish either way you're going.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose someone you love, but you're selfish because you still want them to live in the pain that they are in.
Yeah.
While they're apparently selfish to want to kill themselves to get rid of the pain and allowing someone to miss them forever.
Which is, once again, maybe this is just going to be like a double feature discussion. Because that whole discussion is not perfectly like sorted out, but it's so it is perfectly touched upon in Paddleton as well when Mark Duplass' character says, "I'm the dying guy."
Yeah.
And then Ray Romano says, "Well, I'm the other guy."
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That movie touches
on
that
like,
much
oh,
better.
Shit. And he just stops and realizes, oh, that's true.
We
when
don't
I'm
really
gone, he's going to be left alone.
Yeah. We don't have that issue in On the Count of Three because they're both planning on dying.
Going to kill themselves. Yeah.
So that's why his question is kind of, well, who cares? We're not the other person here. We're the ones who are going to die.
Yeah.
So why would we care right now?
Yeah, that's true. But just to quickly go back to that, because I always think of that, because whenever I hear like a friend or just heard it, see in general, like on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, like people who had to put their pets down.
Oh, yes.
And it's just like, oh, because they were hurting for 2 weeks. So you just decided to kill them.
Yeah.
But like, you kept your grandma alive for 30 years.
Why are we so quick to shoot an animal when they get hurt? Like in farms and stuff, when they shoot them with a fucking bullet in the forehead because they can't do what they're supposed to do anymore.
Yeah.
But when a human starts breaking down, we're like, no, we need to keep them alive.
I'm even thinking like, worse than that, like pets.
Well, yeah.
People, like, a dog or a cat that has been with you for like 10, 12 years. And it's like, oh, it's my best friend in the entire world, but he has cancer, so I'm going to strangle him to death. Oh, you're not going to try to treat him like you did your old, grandma or grandpa?
To be fair, most people would try to treat them if they can afford it. I hope at least. Yeah. I would, personally, with my 2 cats.
That's also the thing, I guess. I guess both human medical care and animal medical care is a bit of a scam, but I think the animal veterinarians are a bit more, because it's like they like to pile up the
it's not developed well enough either, because they don't even every time they have to put an animal under sedation, they're like, yeah, just so you know, we're just killing them very easily by doing this. While you can put a human under sedation easily. The risk of dying from that is way smaller.
Much smaller. Yeah, I know. It's just something, and I of course I understand why, because even if you love a dog or a cat or whatever, with like it's your best friend, or if it's like a part of your family, it's not the same as a human being.
No, because there's not the same. I understand,
but it's still like
it's close enough.
It's close enough, and it's always like, oh, we're so sad, but we had to put him down. But he was sick for a day. Like, come on.
And then,
sometimes it feels like that.
2 months later, they've bought a new puppy.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
You replaced them. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not the movie. But it's just, that's the whole thing, like, with keeping people alive. People who were obviously, like, in anguish for so long. Just let them go. Let them be rid of the pain.
I mean, if they really want it, let them. Let them decide on their own. If they can't decide, And I guess,
That's
it's a
a
bit of
tough
a
one,
moral
yeah.
question, but it's not like you're killing someone who's already dying.
Yeah. That's tough, right? They can't decide for themselves, yeah. But in Kevin's case, like, why? Why keep him alive?
Yes, he obviously wants to die.
not keep him alive, but why not let him
commit suicide?
Kill himself.
Exactly. Sure, he failed. That doesn't mean he changed his mind. It just means that he didn't prepare properly, probably.
Yeah. That's also a hint with Val's character, because he does try to hang himself in the beginning.
Yes.
After, I suppose, he quit after being promoted. Because he tries to hang himself in the bathroom stall at work.
Yeah. Though he's... That would have never worked.
Well, no, I know. I always... but I have seen videos, or a video, where a person kills himself in that way. It's
sure,
possible.
I mean, it's possible.
You just have to be... You have to have the conviction
yes,
to not put your feet down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because even people who, are so sure that they want to kill themselves, and they do stuff like trying to drown themselves or hang themselves, they usually... Or jump. They usually change their mind halfway. And... You can hear it, you can see it, you know it.
Yeah.
And when he did it, the way he did it, it would have been one of those, he just stood up. Which he did.
Yeah, exactly. Which he does, yeah. Because he hears his happy-go-lucky moron work friend.
Yeah. Well, colleague, I suppose.
Colleague, yeah. Yeah, colleague, but he's like a little bit of a doofus.
Yes.
But he sings that very, happy-go-lucky song.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, I can't kill myself here.
Or,
right. really deep down, he's like, I don't want to die.
Yes.
Basically. Because that's the whole vibe you get from the entire movie. There's little hints everywhere that's it's kind of he made a very rash decision when he got those guns.
I mean, like you said,
it's even reflected in the fact that his plan for them to commit suicide is really just for them to kill each other?
Because he won't be able to commit to doing it himself.
Yeah. So
it's even shown in the fact that he doesn't turn off his phone. He has it on to let her ring and call him as a reminder, so to speak. Because if you really wanted to ignore someone, you turn off your phone. But he doesn't really want to let go. It's like he wants her, I suppose, to chase him a little bit.
Yeah.
It's attention-seeking almost, but not in the bad way.
No, exactly, yeah. It's a
cry for help, I suppose.
That's definitely what it is. It's a cry for help. It's not... It's angsty teenagers cutting themselves.
No.
But not deep enough to actually hurt themselves. It's just...
And scratch marks.
Yeah, come on, bro.
If you really want to die, you do the other way.
Exactly. Yeah. Come on, bro. It's kind of that.
Yes. It's the same as, locking yourself in the bathroom, running away, locking yourself in the bathroom. You want someone to come knocking on the door.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if they don't, you come out and are pissed at them for not knocking on the door.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck you. Which is,
I was sitting there for 30 minutes.
Why did you not?
You wouldn't be alone.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing though, because we see Val continue doing these oh wait, I have to fix this or I have to make this right. Not
Yeah.
He wants to make things right with people and fix stuff. While Kevin has more of I just want someone else to suffer as much as I did.
Yeah. That's his big plan.
And even when he runs into the old classmate, he's like, I want to make this fucker suffer as much as I did as well before I go.
Yeah.
He adds to the list during the day. Luckily, he changes his mind about that one.
Yeah, because I audibly said no when he drove up to Lake Como. Because it's
I said, I don't think you're gonna make it, dude.
As much as an asshole that guy was when they were kids.
Yes.
To take that out on him now when he has a wife and a child is
two children.
Not fair.
Well, one on
Two
the way.
Children. Yeah, that's not fair.
No.
And even Kevin understands that. That's why he drives away.
Yeah, and doing that to him now wouldn't be making him pay. Would be making someone else suffer.
exactly.
Though, I mean, he could have just shot him in the leg.
I guess.
Which would be, I guess, equal, because they, like, what did they do? They, like, ran him over with a car? Or hit him with a car, at least?
It was a truck.
A truck. Whatever.
Well, it's a little bigger than a car.
Yeah, but he was hurt. That's all I remember from a car. I don't remember exactly
and they used to, like, bully him, basically.
They, like, bullied him because of it, because he spazzed out because of the injuries he sustained.
Yeah.
Which is even worse.
Before they
probably.
Because he had mental problems.
Right.
Issues.
Which we find out later is because his psychiatrist is a douchebag.
Yeah, who they hint at molested him.
Yeah.
Which is why he's the second guy on his list of killings today.
Well, the first guy, technically
the first guy,
there.
Yeah.
They need to wait for him to show up.
And that's also, like, the longer the movie goes on, the messier it gets.
Yes.
And it's almost like, well, now they better kill themselves, otherwise they're in a world of trouble.
Yes.
They rob a store, they almost kill a family man, they do kill the doctor.
Yeah.
They beat up and rob an old man, although that's Val's abusive father.
Yes.
Which, let's talk about that scene, because the abusive dad is played by J.B. Smoove, who is a very, 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 very funny comedian.
Yes.
Whom I've only seen in comedic roles, most prominently as what's his name? Larry David's, like, live-in best friend in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right.
Who's lived with him since, like, season 4 or 5, I think. So, at this point, like, 20 years. Almost. And I thought he did a great job playing, like, this, carefree guy who has, like, a violent streak to him.
Yeah.
I thought, great job. But I just couldn't take him seriously. All I saw was him trying to explain how to, like, how the dick work, how you fuck to Larry. That's all he talks about.
I did expect him to, like, do the way he speaks when he speaks in funny roles. He has this, like, it's like bursts almost.
Yeah. But he didn't.
No, he didn't, which is good. But I almost wanted him to do it as well.
Yeah, it's like I said, he did a great job, but I just couldn't not see.
You couldn't look past it, so to speak.
Yeah, I could not see. I don't remember what his character is called.
Lindell.
Lindell?
Yeah.
No, I meant in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, right. Sorry, I don't know. I didn't find that.
Oh. Hold on, I got it. What is his name? J.B. Smoove. What? Why doesn't that show up first? Leon. Right, Leon
right.
is his name. But anyway.
Anyway, that was the one character, that one actor I think felt a bit, well, no. The guy who played the doctor, Henry Winkler, I see him as a comedian as well, mostly. Or comedic roles, mostly.
I mean, he is like a comedic actor.
Yeah. I guess the same for the guy who played Val. I've only seen him in comedy settings.
Yeah, Gerard Carmichael. I think he is like a stand-up comedian. I know he has produced a bunch of stand-up comedy shows or whatever. But he's done some serious stuff as well.
Sure.
And I mean, even the guy who runs the motocross,
the dirt bike place.
Yeah, Lavelle something.
Crawford.
He's also a comedian,
right?
But he has done, he did that. He played a character in Breaking Bad, who was kind of comedic, but also more of a serious role. I think since this was like John Carmichael was involved in producing this movie as well, I think he just knows a lot of comedians, so he put comedians in the roles.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
I mean, it's almost the same as with Tiffany Haddish, who you're more used to see in comedic roles, except for lately she's been doing a lot more dramatic stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, she used to be just comedy.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's why it's one of those like I'm doing a serious movie, and
do you guys want to try it?
Very serious. Yeah. Like a lot of comedians or comedic actors do. Like
eventually at least.
Yeah, Robin Williams did a lot of serious roles, and more famously, like, I guess Jerry Lee Lewis in The King of Comedy plays a very unfunny person.
Yeah,
but there's a bunch of those.
Yes.
Comedians playing like, not funny ones. So maybe that was the thing they were going for, and it works. I think everyone does a good job.
Oh yes,
except then that I couldn't see Lindell. I just saw Leon.
Well, that's a you problem.
That's a me problem. That's not a JB Smoove problem. Yeah.
I wanted to mention the fact that because the Kevin character, played by Christopher Abbott,
yes.
he has, because we mentioned that Val kind of, he keeps hinting at not really wanting to die. He's just upset.
Yeah.
However, Kevin's character is completely letting go of all of his beliefs, except for, being polite, which is whatever. He's anti-guns, but all of a sudden he's like, this is so much fun when he's at the shooting range.
Which is a very funny line when he says, fuck Soloft, man.
Yeah. Why isn't America the happiest country in the world?
We get so many fucking guns.
Yeah. Well, guns can be used to bad stuff as well.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
but it's a funny commentary.
Yes, definitely.
On the mental health problem in America. Yeah.
I mean, he's hesitant to doing the bad stuff, obviously, but he still actually goes to do it, even though he does fail with the doctor because he kind of freaks out and he forgot the safety thing because he hasn't learned how to use a gun properly.
Yeah, it's my first day.
But he was gonna do it. Had the safety been off, he would have done it. Which feels like that's like telling us that yes, he is convicted. He will do this. Not convicted. Is that the word? Convinced. He will do it. Yes.
Yeah.
And I like that contrast. It's clear from the beginning who's gonna do what and what it will lead to.
Yeah.
Even like in the final chase when he's obviously drunk.
Yeah.
And he goes on this whole spiel about it's because of your beautiful skin that they hate you and blah blah blah. It's like he's so sincere.
I'm sorry I used the N-word. I should have just said the N-word.
But it's hard to talk about, what does he say? It's hard to talk about race.
It's hard to talk about race.
Yeah.
Which is just these weird like social commentaries and comments he makes all of a sudden.
Yeah, but it's who he is, probably. He's always tried, because of his trauma in life, he's always tried to be a people pleaser as well, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, now that he's like realizing that he is in his final moments, he just lets it all out, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah. Even the last thing he does is like, pin it on me.
Yeah, because it turns out that Val shoots the doctor because he comes in, sees that the doctor has managed to grab the gun from Kevin and smacked him in the face with his like book or whatever it was.
Yeah.
His ledger.
And he's more or less pointing the gun at Kevin.
Pointing the gun at him, so Val just reacts by shooting him in the head.
Yes.
Which, he was fine with that.
But it was defense in that sense.
No, but I mean, earlier in the movie, when they were going to do it first, he said, like, this is it. After we kill him, we gotta go, because I'm not going to prison.
Yes.
But then in the end, he doesn't really want to kill himself anymore. But then because accidentally he kills the doctor.
Yeah. Dooming himself.
Yeah. But then, obviously then, his will to live is strong enough that even in that situation, when he's going to go to prison, which was what he absolutely did not want, he's kind of fine with it all of a sudden, because he'd still be alive,
Exactly, yeah. He'd rather go to prison and be alive than die and not experience the child, so to speak. Well, actually. Yeah,
because we find out that that's also a big thing now. He is not ready to, like, start a real life for this woman.
His girlfriend, I suppose?
His girlfriend, yeah. I mean, he'd even bought the ring and everything, but he was just like, oh no, I can't do this. And his solution was, I'm going to just kill myself. That'd be better.
That is a rash decision to make when all he had was a panic attack about committing himself for life.
Yeah.
It's normal to have a panic attack over that. You don't need to kill yourself for that.
Exactly. And I mean, yeah, it's not, and I don't know, that's wrong way to look at it, but it doesn't even have to be for life.
No, you can always get divorced.
Exactly, you shouldn't. But I mean, if it doesn't work, you can always end the marriage.
Well, there's like a saying that nothing is permanent in life except for death and taxes.
That's true.
Anything else can be at least changed, perhaps not forgotten and redone, but you can change it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, which fits in very good here, because death would have been an irreversible decision. Yeah. But then when we reach that end, at that point, Kevin, like I said, he's already decided, like, I did everything I had to do.
The bad person is no longer on this planet, so I can leave with a good conscience, so to speak.
Yeah.
And also
he got to have this great day with his best friend.
Yes.
And, it's good to end it on a high note, so to speak. So
he even says, this was only a great day because we know it's our last. I think it's him who says that, at least.
Yeah, because a lot of the decisions they made were like based on the fact that this was their last day.
Yeah.
I guess
the robbing wasn't really part of it.
Nah, and also they did pay for the stuff, so I guess they didn't actually rob. But
no,
they just threatening a person with a gun.
Yes.
And, drinking and driving, killing a person, stealing the money, all that stuff.
Yes.
It's just like, and it kind of fits in with the, the saying, like, live every day like it's your last. And they actually, for once, did that and had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yes, I was about to say, like, people ask you sometimes, if you had one day left on Earth, what would you do? Most people go, I don't know. Do what I normally do? No, you probably wouldn't. If you actually know that this is your last day, you might do something rash. Yeah, sure.
That depends, though, because if it was like, oh, you have one day left to live, like, you're gonna die when you go to sleep or something.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I would be, like, paralyzed and not do anything. I would just lie there all day and then I would die. But if it was like, I'm going to kill myself at the end of this day, then I'm going to do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, obviously it depends on your decision regarding it. If you're deciding to end it, then you're going to spend it. You're going to do the things you always wanted to do. But if you have no choice in the matter, then of course you're going to freak out, because I don't want to die.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you find out the day, like, this is your last day.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
You're going to have the whole day to process it, and then it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so even though it gets a little out of control, it, like we said before, it does come to a very logical conclusion. Yes.
I almost said at one point in this movie, if this movie does not end with one of them killing themselves, I'm gonna hate it. Because if they both would have, like, no, let's keep on living, it would have just been all for nothing.
I would have been okay with that, because it's obviously not a movie about suicide is great.
No.
It's a movie about, life is great.
Yeah.
So I would have been fine with if they both survived. But I also think that the ending we got was a very, very good ending, and it was the right ending.
Yes.
If they both died, then they would. No,
that would have been horrible.
Yeah.
And but I feel like it wouldn't have been fair to Kevin's character to be like, no, by the way, I'm going to change my mind, because.
No, that's true. No.
It's like, how people always say that
what he says,
just because you're sad doesn't mean you have to end things. No, but he's not just sad.
He's in a perpetual state of sadness. Like, he's been sad his entire life.
Yeah, this is
he doesn't know anything else.
Why walk around with that pain when you can just end it?
Yeah.
And like we said in the beginning, it's his choice. Yeah, it shouldn't be a discussion.
It's like the Joker says, all I have are negative thoughts. It's like, why would I go on?
Yeah.
What is the point? At this point, after so many years, is it even worth it?
It's not like he hasn't tried.
Yeah.
Because then he would have killed himself when he was a teenager or something.
Yeah.
No, he's been trying. But he's done. Yeah. So, yeah, I would have hated it if they somehow wrote it that he would have changed his mind and be like, no, I'm gonna live now. No. That wouldn't have made sense.
I almost thought, because the last shot of Val in prison, getting to meet his child.
Yeah, I didn't see what it was.
Child on Father's Day, because you see the Father's Day in the background. I almost thought that Kevin would walk in, because kind of like in Fight Club, he doesn't actually shoot himself in the head. He just goes out the back of his neck. And he's like, oh, hey Val, I'm so happy to see you again, or something like that.
No, I wouldn't have liked that.
No, that would have been super weird. But I just got that picture in my head.
Talk about making a miserable person more miserable.
Yeah, I suppose.
God damn. No.
But him, like, getting into a near brush with death gave him a new lease on life or something. I just got that picture in my head. It wouldn't have been good.
No.
It would have been weird and bad. But I just saw that in front of me, like, oh, he walks in. It looks like. Have you seen Preacher, or have you read Preacher, the comic book, where a guy?
I think I've seen bits of it.
They made it into a TV show. But there's a character in that comic book and in the TV show. They tried to, he put a shotgun in his mouth and shot, but he didn't die.
Oh God!
So his face just looks like a butthole now. So they call him arse face or ass face. I just got that picture in my head of Kevin walking in looking like ass face.
Yeah, no, I've only seen clips of it, so I don't think I've seen that character.
No. But yeah, that would have been a bad ending.
Yes. Because, like I said, talk about making a miserable person's life more miserable.
Yeah.
I think it's a good contrast almost, that you get to see, the whole spectrum of wanting to kill yourself.
Yeah.
You get to see the good and the bad. Well, both of them are good in a way, because both of them are technically happy in the end with their decision. Yes.
And like you said,
no, go on.
Like we said in the beginning, it's a sober look on suicide.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what? Yeah, in 99% of the cases, of course you can fix it. If you're just sad, it's gonna get better. But in some cases, no, it won't.
It won't. And who are we to judge?
Exactly. And it's up to that person then,
Yes.
It's like, there's like two very, very big choices people can make when it comes to, like, life and death situations. One is suicide, the other is abortion.
Yeah.
Both should still be, legal and accepted.
Yes.
But, it's a very, very big decision to make.
Sure.
And you have to make it very carefully.
Yes. I'll still say that suicide is a bigger one, though. Because, you can always have more children.
Yeah, okay. Let's not get into that.
No.
Yeah, of course you can, but let's not get into that.
Yeah, no, it's still a big decision, obviously.
Yes.
I was looking at, because it's relatively new, like you said.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of what's it called? I was about to say customer reviews. That's not what it's called.
Critic reviews? User reviews, yeah.
And most of them are actually pretty good. They're positive towards it. The only ones I've seen are like 5s. That's like the lower ones. But, someone called it a snoozer, but it's still a 5, so people obviously liked it. Yeah.
That feels a little harsh.
Yeah, but they still gave it a 5 stars, so 5 out of 10.
Oh, you're...
I'm on IMDb at the moment.
Yeah, but 5 out of 10 is then it's just okay.
Yeah, but it's halfway. It's not a 1 star.
No, sure, I suppose.
But 80%, if not more, is 8 or 9 stars.
Now I can't find
on Letterboxd.
No, I'm looking at. I had JB Smooth's IMDb up, and I can't find it on there.
Okay.
What? Oh, there it is. Right. Sorry. Yeah. But the average user score is 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
And the meta score is 74. So it has a few really good reviews.
I think that's pretty fair. I mean, it's not, like we said, it's not a perfect movie by any means. It's not super exciting and something you'll rewatch 100 times, or it doesn't hit you in the gut with emotions. But it's a realistic movie that you watch sometimes when you want to think about life, sort of.
Yeah, and that's why I said it was a very, very good movie, because it's not a great movie, but it's very, very good.
Yeah.
But let's see here. It has two 10 out of 10 reviews here. One is from The Observer. They say, a gentle yet high caliber mashup of satire and Wes Anderson's Bottle Rocket. That was a weird sentence. Carmichael's film is irreverent, serious, and heart-rendingly sad in ways so crushingly honest that the unlikely outcome is spiritual uplift. That's a little much. I mean, like I said, it did not move me in that kind of way.
No.
But it was still very good. And the other one is RogerEbert.com. But not Roger Ebert, of course, because he's dead. On the Count of Three is a rousing tragicomedy that straddles a line between incredibly calibrated gallows humor and a devastating discourse on the burden of existence.
Yeah.
That's more like it.
That's more like it.
And then we have anything interesting. Because, I would probably give it like a 7.
7 out of 10.
For me, it's going to land on like a strong 7 out of 10, I think. Yeah.
I'm so used to doing Letterboxd now, so I gave it a 4.
Yeah, for me that would be 3.5.
It's
but
a
maybe
weak
this
4,
would be a 4,
though.
Yeah, a weak 4. Yeah, exactly. Let's see if it has the lowest it has is from the playlist, a 42 out of 100. A good movie exists in On the Count of Three, but a film with such challenging subject matter needed a more experienced director capable of shading the dark comedy and the heartfelt spirit with an assured visual hand.
No, I'm not sure that's...
I don't agree.
That's not the issue.
No, like, the fact that it is very stripped down and not very, like, cool looking. It's just,
not very
it's
artsy.
Just film. Yeah, I think that's good, because it puts emphasis on the subject matter and on the characters.
Exactly. The rawness of the movie is the fact that we can focus on the characters and what they're going through instead of look at the pretty pictures.
Yeah. Here's actually one that is pretty good from The Guardian. 6 out of 10. While it's ultimately a little too messy to work quite as well as it could have, given the interesting and ambitious ingredients, On the Count of Three is proof that Carmichael is a director to be excited about, hoping that perhaps he finds time to write his next script himself.
Yes.
That I can agree with, because it is messy, very messy.
I mean,
I think some of that is deliberate, I think.
Yes, because it works with the characters. They're kind of messy, obviously.
Yeah. But it's a little, for me, it was a little much.
Yes.
Specifically towards the end.
Yeah. But I think that's all we got on this one. Because if you continue talking now, we're going to start making more comparisons to, I was about to say Paddington again.
Paddleton?
Paddleton?
Yeah.
So I think we'll save whatever we have left to say for the Patreon episode.
For the Patreon episode. So, if you want to check out our discussion of Paddleton, support us on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene, where you get a bunch of exclusive episodes. You get commentary tracks. Sometimes you get exclusive video episodes. We just released a video episode where we rank A24 movies. It's going to be an ongoing series where we eventually will rank all of their movies.
Yes.
So check us out over there. Go in on the $3 tier. It's the most price. It's the most sensibly priced tier. But other than that, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Check the movie out.
Definitely.
Yeah, despite the flaws, it's a very, very good movie, like we said. But we will see you in the next episode. But until then, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is hosted by Tobias Vedén and Rebecca Vedén. Produced and directed by Tobias Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén and Laura Kinney. Also a huge shout out to all our patrons. Laura Kinney, Mom, Dad, Mom and Mac.